Alright, hello y'all, this is Lady H. I've had some requests to do a tutorial on this book. It is my storybook camp. This is the inspiration that I used when making the camp. And as I'm going to walk you through this, just let you know that tutorials are not my forte. The book is going to be a 3x4 square. This will be my set block, so I'll make sure that I don't delete that just yet because I might need it later to do all this. But down here in front of the square that I have is where we are actually going to be building the pages for the book. You want to build the pages for the book before you add anything to it. So we're going to start by placing another set block off to the side so I don't lose my spot in case something happens. And we're going to start by doing the seam in the middle of the book where the two pages meet along the spine of the book. Now, I am going to be moving some of these foundations, so I need a pattern on top, a tile that will give me a guideline on what I am, or how far I need to move the foundations. Delete. Oh, yeah, okay, gotta show that first. That's where the center, the spine, and the seam of the pages will be. Yes, okay, we see it. Keep going. Alright, delete the two middle ones. Okay, the important part when doing the pages is that what you do to one side, you have to do to the other. Just kind of remember that as you go along. I'm going to set another set block on this side, just in case. Alright, so the first page is going to be lifted up, so you want to lift it up just to the top of the wood on the foundation. Yeah. You're going to do that on both sides. Of course, in this part, it's easiest to just space your foundations across and lift it up that way. And then, because the pages are actually shorter than the cover of a book, you're going to move your foundation inward just a little bit. Make sure you do that on both sides. Alright, and now you are going to move outward a little bit because there needs to be a space where the pages come together. Reset that set block and move the other side over. Alright, now it is important that you have catwalks for this. If not, it may be a little bit difficult to get the pages together because you can put a catwalk down and then you can put a half wall against the foundation. And this, to me, I found it easier to go underground to do this next part. So however you can get yourself underground, just do that. I use the symptomatic method. And there's a little platform of roof pieces down there for me to stand on. You're going to take a full length, a large catwalk, place it on the bottom of that half wall. You can do two, and when you do that, you can see that there is going to be a gap. That gap is important to separate the pages along the spine. Put another half wall under that, and a roof piece on top, an angled roof piece. Now, as you start building with the roof pieces, it's important that you use the same roof piece for each page level. So I'm building 3 page levels, and I'm going to use a different roof piece for each one. And this is important later when you start trying to move your pages into the actual book area that you're going to build in, so you don't get confused in all the destroyed highlights. You can look at the name of the roof pieces and find the one that you need. All right, so after you have those 2 pieces set, just destroy them. Go back underground. Realize that you can't remove that piece because you have to unsnap. Yep, okay. Roof pieces are weird sometimes. Alright, so now we got both of those pieces done. You're going to do the same thing to the other side. So 2 catwalks across, 1 half wall down, an angled roof piece up of the same kind, and a flat one on top. And you can see right there that there is a gap where the pages are meeting along the spine of the book. And destroy those. Now, this is going to show you that as you look at where the edges of the book cover are going to be, this foundation with the tile is out too far. Now, pages in a book, when you have an open book, they're going to be shorter than the cover of the book. So we need to move this in 2 tiles, the space of 2 tiles, because it was already out 1, space of 2 tiles. Do the same thing on the other side. And then use your catwalk pieces to put place another half wall against the edge of the foundation, and a flat roof piece, the same one of the white spring that I'm using, the gray topped with the white edge on there. And you can see here that it is level with the roof pieces we already have placed down. Alright, get rid of that and destroy. Do the same thing to both sides. And you have your first level of pages. Alright, now we're going to start working on the second page, which will be one higher. So I'm going to come back over to this block over here, this foundation over here, because this is the one that is at level with the page that I already placed and destroyed. And as you can see, as I am measuring foundations, it is higher, but at the same position of the book cover foundations. All right, we're going to raise this one up one. This is always a tricky part. Okay. And then we are going to build over to the other side because we need to do this on both sides. And you can see right here the seam of those foundations still matches that seam. All right, get rid of all your extra foundations because now we're going to be working on the edge of where we destroyed the first pages. All right, so the first time that we did the seam, we moved over one tile. We're going to move over two this time. You're going to do that on both sides. And repeat the process of placing the catwalks and the half walls. Two large catwalks over. And we're going to use a different roof piece for this so that we don't get it lost in all of the destroyed highlights. So this time I think it was the Brotherhood barracks roof that we're going to use. Place an angled piece there, and then you have to move it over into the actual section that we need it in. Same thing on both sides. Okay. And the second layer of the pages will actually be shorter than the first layer. So we have to move our foundation again. And in this case, you can see that the edge of the first layer of pages is 3 blocks over, 3 tiles over on the foundation. So we're going to move this one over 4. And now it is a little bit shorter than the bottom page level. I'm going to do the same thing on both sides. And place the extension of the pages so that it goes all the way over. And then once you've finished with that, you can remove your half wall pieces that you used and destroy. Now we have 2 layers of pages. In the camp that I built, I did 4 layers, but for the purpose of this tutorial, I am only going to do 3. So we're going to raise that set block up 1 more. Remember, this one is still in line with the cover foundations that are there in the back, the green one. So we always double check, make sure those seams are lined up right there. All right, so same process as with the second layer. You're going to move over 2 tile lengths so that we have a space in between. Place your catwalks and half blocks underground. Double those catwalks. Place a third type of roof, an angled roof. Get them set into place and destroy. Do it to both sides. This is just a repeat of the same process as we used on the other 2 page levels. Okay, and then to do the extension of the page, we moved over 4 tile lengths in the last one. So we're going to do it 5 this time. Because your upper page is going to be shorter than all your others, because that's just the way a book looks when it is opened in the middle. Luckily in this case, 5 tiles is half a foundation, so I could actually use the half catwalk to move my foundation over. And we're going to do that on both sides. Place your roof, your page extension, with the same process as before. And now you have 3 layers of pages. Okay, up next we are going to put the book covers in. I did a double layer of book cover just because I wanted it to be a little bit extra thick. So we're going to start with the bottom layer, and you can see that that bottom page sits right on top of this foundation. So we're going to drop the foundation down. Make sure I have a set block in place so I don't mess up. Drop this foundation down. One wood, the little edge of the foundation, that little wood piece, drop it down one. And then we're going to use the catwalk and the half wall methods to get this foundation level, get this roof piece level to the foundation top. And make sure you use a different roof piece for this, so again, you don't get it lost in the highlighted sections of the destroyed pieces. That way you can look at the name over to the side and figure out which one you're supposed to use. All right, that is the lower level of the book cover. Now you have to destroy this to get the second layer on it. Okay, go back to your set block, your set foundation. Use that to put the second layer on. We're going to half wall, catwalk and half wall. And you can use the same type of roof piece for this because the book covers are going to be the same anyway. I had a mess up right there. It didn't line up with where it's supposed to be. This is one of the more difficult parts of this making a book, is with everything destroyed, it's kind of difficult to see where you're supposed to be. All right, so now we have our area that we're going to build in. We're actually going to put a gap between them. This is the time when you start decorating for what you want to have on top of the book. And my camp build, I did a little cottage with some trees and a bunch of bushes and stuff around it. You're going to want to use items that will destroy completely. If the item does not destroy completely, such as the Mylark cooker, you're going to have to place it on top of a shooting target if you have those. If you don't have them, the eggs that you can destroy, the thrasher eggs, they will work too, but the roof pieces do not like them. So this is something you'll just have to play with to figure out. So in this case, I put it on a shooting target, destroy those, and then the item completely disappears and you're able to put a roof piece over top of it. The roof pieces that will extend as the pages of the book. The thrasher egg, it won't work. Unfortunately. I think I try to show you that it doesn't work. So I have the thrasher egg down and the roof piece will not go on top of it. It just doesn't like it. But you can put a roof piece over top of a shooting target. Alright, so in this next part, I'm going to start building the house, but this is the piece, this is the chair that I used for the spine of the book where it goes. The problem is, and I ran into this issue when I first started building, is that if you don't do it in the right order, you have to half destroy your book to get it in there. I tried it this time is by placing it on top of the foundation and destroying it and then building around it and what have you. And then I found out that the chair that I was using for the spine of the book cover, it didn't line up right. So I ended up having to redo it. And I will show you how I did that at the end of the video. Anything that goes into the ground, like the trees and the bushes, you'll have to actually place onto the dirt. If I can ever find one. And destroy them. And then you're able to put your foundations and your roof pieces back on top of those or through them. I'm going to get rid of all this extra stuff. And I did intend to build a cottage. We're going to try to skip through this as much as possible because this is just basic block building, house building. Go through all of this. And to get the roof pieces for the pages of the book to go through this, you do have to destroy it. I am going to be deleting the foundations here in a second. I did this completely out of order when I was recording it. You need to turn all of your walls to a doorway. And then I found out, of course, later on that the roof pieces do not like all the walls. So I had to change some of the walls to the destroyed concrete walls, and the roof pieces prefer those. All right, so this is the point where if you've got everything out of the way, you start extending your pages over, the pages of your book and the book cover and what have you, one section at a time. Yes, you can see here that I had to change the walls to the destroyed concrete to get the roof pieces to go through them. And then, of course, destroy them all again. All right, so one section at a time. We are going to put the roof pieces that are the pages across. We're going 3 down, and you have to destroy each one. And you basically just keep going until you got all of the pages and the book cover pieces spread over. This is the part where having different roof pieces come into play. Because as you're searching for each part of the roof, you are looking for the names of them because you can't see what they are because they're all highlighted and destroyed. So that's why I used the different types so that it's easier to find them. You're just going to keep going and keep going and keep going until you get it all stretched across. I'm trying to speed this up as much as possible. You just kind of have to do one section at a time so you don't get lost. Because that is the issue that I had when I was making my camp, is that I was constantly getting lost in what I've done, what I haven't done. Because even by being careful with having all of the page levels, the first page and the second page and the third page, having them all a different roof piece, I was constantly getting lost and forgetting which one I have done and having to go back and fix it. So you just keep going and keep going and keep going. You use up a lot of material by destroying and repairing and doing this. Okay, and once you've gotten all of the pages, the levels of the pages built in, you can start working on the book cover that goes underneath. So we're going to finish this off real quick and start on the book cover which will go underneath. Alright, so the book cover does stick out from the edge of the pages, but once you get to the back you realize, you could see here that since the front of the book sticks out a little bit further, the back of the book does not. So now we have to extend this book cover along the back so that it does stick out past the pages. So in this case we are using the half walls and the catwalks again to place a foundation that will be level with the book cover. And then we could see here that there's there's the gap that we need. It may be a little bit shorter than what is given. So we're just going to move it over a little bit. Use the catwalks and the half walls. Oh no, we're going to use the angled pieces. Make sure you destroy that. We're going to do it this way, I guess. Oh, and I realized that I did it the wrong way. Yeah, alright, so we're going to fix that. Oh, no, I didn't do it. I did it correctly. Okay, I just didn't go far enough. Alright, so now we have a book cover that extends past the edge of the pages. Yeah. And then you're going to stretch that across and do the rest of that book cover level. You have to close in that gap that we created and do both sections, both levels of the book cover. So you have to destroy the first one to put in the second one. Okay, I'm coming back to this section because I tried to put in the chair that's supposed to be on the spine of the book cover, but you can see here that I completely screwed it up when I did it this time. So I'm going to delete this and probably come back to it later. At the end, I will show you how I fixed it. Because the top of that chair should be at the bottom of the book cover. It should not be sitting on top like that. Alright, I'm pretty sure that I've got all of the page pieces and the cover book the book cover pieces. I got an L and N. It's all in there, right? Does it look like it's all in there? Oh, like I said, it can be so hard to tell. With everything destroyed like it is. But it looks right. It looks correct. All right, we're going to fix this. Let's see. And I'm going to switch everything back real quick. Switch all the cottage pieces back and fix the roof pieces. All right, I think it looks okay. That's the top of it. Yeah, I'm changing the top to one of the concrete roofs, so it looks, you know, as wide as possible, the way a page in a book would be. The closest you can get to an angled roof piece that's white is the concrete ones that are destroyed that has the holes in them. It's the closest you can get. All right, and then I'm going to place my foundations around on the edges just to finish it off a little bit. Go all the way around. The back doesn't really like it very much, so I'll end up having to burn those out as well. And I'm not getting rid of my building set in the front yet because there's a possibility that I still might need it. So I gotta go burn all of this so that I can get the rest of my foundations around to finish off the edges of the book so you can't see the roof pieces that are going under the ground. All right, and there it is. It's a little wonky, but that is the basic process of it. I'm not very good at tutorials, so I did the best I can with this one. And I'm not a perfectionist when I build, so if something is a little bit wonky or out of line, I'm usually okay with that. If it bothers you, then just keep working at it to fix it. All right, so now I'm going to try to get these the spine of the book for the book cover in. So what I had to do was I had to take off the book covers that meet in the middle. So I am removing those because this chair will not go through a roof. A roof piece will go through a destroyed or burned out item, but you cannot put an item through a destroyed or burnt roof. It just doesn't work that way. With these angled pieces down here on the bottom, I'm able to just flatten those and they'll be out of the way. So I don't have to get rid of those yet. All right, so now the only two roof pieces that are actually in the way of putting the chair in are those two White Springs ones. Now I placed the chair up on a shooting target because I am going to have to like completely destroy it to get everything back in place. And the chair does not It just interferes. The roof pieces interfere with where the chair needs to be. So I'm able to raise one to get it out of the way, but not the other. The other one, it won't. It's not out of the way. So what I ended up having to do was remove that roof piece. And here I'm just checking to see if my chair is in the center. I'll move it over a little bit. It's interfering. So if you can get the chair, the spine of the book, in place before you spread your pages and your book cover pieces across, then that is great. That way you don't have to come back and try to fix it like I did. And this is what I had to do when I made my camp as well. I forgot to put the chair in, the spine of the book in, before I built everything else, and then I ended up having to destroy a whole bunch, get rid of a whole bunch, replace a whole bunch, just to get that one piece in. So that piece has to come out. There's no way around it. It has to come out, so I had to get rid of it. Now I can move the chair into position. You want it to be just outside the edge of the book cover. And you just check from the side. It needs to come back just a little bit more. And I did. I moved it back. And then we're going to destroy it. Destroy all of the roof pieces that are in the middle, so that I can get that one white spring roof piece back into place, and the 4 pieces for the book cover that I had to take out as well. So we're going to lift all of these back up to their angles. Go top side and destroy everything in the middle. And I think I ended up having to destroy the whole front line of pages of book cover and all those roof pieces along the front line of it. Alright, so this is the part where I was trying to get that one white spring roof piece back into place. I had to destroy and burn out half of the build to do it. And this is why it's important that you try to get that spine, the chair, in place before you do any of this, because the roof pieces will snap through burned and destroyed items, but you cannot get a burned or destroyed item to go through a roof piece. It just doesn't like it. So this is just trying to get that back in there. I'm going to try to speed this up a little bit. All right, so here I was able to get that one roof piece back into place. Now I'm going to put the rest of the book cover pieces that I had to take out for the middle, put those back into place, and then it is just repairing everything, fixing everything, changing the walls back to where whatever style that you wanted, and replacing the foundations around the edges. So we're going to do that real quick. Okay, now that I can see that the chair that I used for the spine of the book is in place where it should be, you can do that on the back of the book right now, but as you saw earlier, it was really difficult to get it in place after everything has been built, so I'm not going to do it. I'm going to just leave it as it is for this video. There's the completed project. It's not perfect, it's a little wonky. The page pieces are not lined up very good, but I'm okay with that. I'm not a perfectionist. I do have a tutorial that's coming up to make the speech bubble, which is very easy to do, and to make the standing books, which do require a blueprint, but I will show you how to do that as well. So I hope that you've enjoyed this tutorial. It's very long. I'm very sorry about that. I have about 10-12 hours of footage that I skipped through, a whole bunch of it. But if this was helpful, I appreciate it. I appreciate all the comments for the video that I got, and I really do appreciate everybody watching. Thank you so much. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.